Hello everyone, welcome to my Vampire the Requiem 2nd Edition Blood in the Bayou game. This is going to be a short video that goes over exactly what you can expect for playing in this game. And it takes place in a fictional city called Jack's Crossing, Louisiana. This is a southern style vampire game, so you're going to see a lot of cool motifs and themes in this game that you normally wouldn't see in your traditional vampire game. So, first, this was constructed using Trigger Happy and a couple of other modules such as FX Master using Foundry Virtual Tabletop. So, you have this landing page. These are all custom graphics that I made. FX Master is where you see all these little red embers and the blood ring coming down around it. So, Trigger Happy lets us click on buttons that we make and takes us to multiple scenes. So, the players can navigate from this landing page to anywhere within the game. So we can click on characters. It'll take us to the character screen. Makes that nice little stone opening sound, as if someone were, crawling out of a grave. And here are the player characters. You've got the Thursday Night Crew right here, and their ghoul. And if you click on the Requiem skull, it'll take you back to the landing page. You click on the city, and it'll take you to the city map. This is where a lot of the fun stuff for the game happens. So, as you see here, we have a custom city map that I created. This is Jack's Crossing, Louisiana. Now, the history of Jack's Crossing is that for over 100 years, the Sanctified and the Crone have been having a blood war, a holy crusade, where the Sanctified believe that this is holy ground after finding lost chapters of the Testament inside mausoleums right after the Civil War. The Crone have been defending their right to keep this land as they were here first, and the Sanctified and them have been at each other's throats for over a century. The Ordo, about a decade ago, came in and laid a claim and kind of forced a peace between the two. So, for 10 years, there has been a tentative peace between the three covenants. So you see that we've got it split up. The Ordo hold North Crossing, the Sanctified hold East Crossing, the Crone hold West Crossing. And that's how it's been for some time. Now, the Carthians and the Invictus kinda don't hold as much power in this game as others, but they do play their parts, so they are still very useful as covenants. The Invictus tend to ally with the Sanctified, for obvious reasons. And the Carthians tend to ally with the Ordo, but they'll ally with pretty much anyone if it means they don't get killed. So they tend to run a constitutional tyranny in this town, though they are all aware that it's a constitutional tyranny, so that's the fun part. But let's take a look at these map pens, as you see. We are using Damnation City in the game, so we are using districts and sites. As such, you can see that we've got things split up into various districts. You've got your high-rise, your university, you've got your financial sectors, your police departments, your medical centers, and then what you can do is you can click on these, and we'll bring up the entry for the game. So this is the airport. It gives you a rough description of the airport and what to expect from it, how it plays in game, and then any traits it may have. So in this case, we've had to do a minor amount of conversion from Damnation City to get it updated to 2nd edition. So merit qualities, these are your limits. So you can take feeding grounds up to 2, safe place up to 5, and haven up to 1 near the airport. This is because different districts are going to have different limitations based on what kind of district they are. Now you also see you have bonuses and penalties to certain types of actions, depending on what they are, according to the traits in Damnation City. And there are pretty much a ton of districts and sites. You've also got, some of these are character havens and locations as well. So as the Chronicle continues, more and more of these will get added to the city map. So you have the riverfronts right here. And you've got all sorts of, you've got a site. This is an Elysium called Blasphemy. It is a bar run by the Sanctified that is their primary place to hunt, as it pulls in the types of people they want to feed on, per the Testament. But you can also go back here, back to the landing page, and then you can go to the Covenants page. Now this is where you see all the major players in the city. This is all of the Covenant leaders. So you have the 3 princes, the Archbishop, Mistress Octavia of the Ordo Dracul, and Olaf the Thane of the Circle of the Crone. These are the 3 princes and their various retinues. Not much is known about Olaf the Thane. He tends to handle everything himself, so they don't really know a lot about what's going on in the West Crossing setup. At least the player characters don't. You have their sires right here, and then you have the Carthians and Invictus leadership. Now, this is not all the vampires in the city. This is just the ones that the player characters are aware of, because they've been introduced to the major players at some point, during their tutelage. And just like everything else, you can click on the Requiem Skull, you go to the clans, you have the same setup. But they haven't really met too many other vampires yet. They've been given their introductions to the various leaders, seen them in Elysium, but they haven't really been, interacting with too many other kindred yet. So that's going to be the fun part about this campaign, seeing all the new kindred that they get to meet. And that's pretty much how Blood in the Bayou is going to be running. I've worked really hard on this, and I'm very proud of how it's turned out. And, looking forward to seeing where the Chronicle takes us. So thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more gaming content in the future.